Hey everybody, it's Chase with AV Pop Culture again, and I hope you are hungry today because we are going to take a look at the top 10 food-focused movies of all time. So pop that tape in, I got you, let's go do this. All right, so in honor of Thanksgiving coming up right around the corner, I decided to put together a list of some of my favorite, what I consider to be the best top 10 food-focused movies that revolve around food, movies that make you want to cook, movies that make you want to eat, movies that just in general make you think about food. So I have a list here. We're going to start this list with a couple of like pre-dinner drinks, so to speak, but we'll have some honorable mentions at the end as well. We're going to start out, like I said, with a little pre-dinner drink, and I had a hard time splitting up these two, so I kind of just put them both here at number 10. I am talking about Sideways and Cocktail. So, you have a little pre-dinner wine, or you have some wine with your dinner, you have a pre or after dinner cocktail. Both of these movies make me think of drinking and eating, and of course, Cocktails and Dreams, Tom Cruise, you have as Brian Flanagan, and you have Elizabeth Shue in here, who I always had a crush on growing up, but he wants to open, he's going to business school, he's learning to be a bartender, he wants to open his own bar, and I mean, that whole vibe fits like, your local pub bites and cocktails and just that whole kind of thing. So a little pre-dinner, after-dinner cocktail with a cocktail from 1988, I believe it was. And then Sideways, nominated for like 5 Academy Awards and some Golden Globes. This movie is famous for putting Pinot Noir kind of on the map for more people and wiping Merlot off the map because I ain't drinking no Merlot. I clean that up a little bit. But I can't think about this movie without Paul Giamatti going nuts saying he's not drinking any Merlot. But Paul Giamatti, Thomas Hayden Church are great in this. Virginia Madsen. And of course, you got like the wine almost becomes like a metaphor throughout this movie of taking the time to appreciate things and the care of things and not letting good things go to waste or good things go by. They're in Napa. They're, wine country, all these things, and wine and food pairings always go together. So we're starting off our food focus here with some drinks, a little wine, a little cocktail, and Sideways. I think Sideways wow, I'm surprised we don't, if we have a 4K of this, let me know. I don't think we have Cocktail either. I would like to see both of these, but I think this is celebrating its 20th anniversary this year. It might have been because I think it's 2004, but coming in tied at the 10th spot, Cocktail and Sideways. Coming in at number 9 is one that might make you not want to eat, or at least not want to eat out. I'm talking about Waiting. This movie is hilarious. It has Ryan Reynolds, Anna Faris, Justin Long. You've got Dane Cook in here, Chi McBride, Luis Guzman. Wow. This movie make you very nervous about ever returning an order, which, gross. But they are all, cooks and waiters at like a steakhouse restaurant. And so the whole thing revolves around them working around food and maybe not always being the nicest to the food. But you can actually tell sometimes, though, they take pride in the cooking of the food because they get really pissed off when people kind of insult the food. But it is hilarious. It's Anna Faris and Ryan Reynolds back, are together in here. They're together in Just Friends. The movie's funny, raunchy. The unrated version is very, very raunchy, but a kind of different take on food. One that might make you avoid eating out, so cook this time of year. But this movie is absolutely hilarious. The unrated version's the best. And of course, I have it on this ancient DVD, bought previously viewed at Hollywood Video. I was showing my guys Daniel at Cobwebs, and Brian at Last Movie Standing, and Frank at Frank's Media Reviews, and John at I think his is Let's Talk Media and Entertainment. I was showing them. I found all of my old like Blockbuster Video and Hollywood Video cards. And some of you might remember this, but my Hollywood Video card is so old that the phone number for Hollywood Video has no area code on it. And if you live in a big area, I don't know if that's like everywhere, but like not having an area code is pretty dated. So I bought this back then. I can't remember when this is from. It's like 2004, 2005, I think. Funny movie. But Waiting comes in at number 9 on our list. At number 8 on our list, and I don't have all of these movies on physical media, but one that I saw a while back, and I caught part of it again recently, was No Reservations, coming in at number 8. This is from 2007, I want to say. Catherine Zeta-Jones, Aaron Eckhart, and a younger Abigail Breslin, I believe, is in this movie. And Catherine Zeta-Jones plays a chef, and she has like a restaurant in New York. I believe it's Manhattan, like Bleecker Street, like famous like area. And she's like, busy, hectic life, and micromanaging her kitchen and her restaurant and all this stuff. And Aaron Eckhart's like her sous chef. But her sister passes away, and she has to take care of her niece, Abigail Breslin. And, you have all of the stuff that incurs with that, plus the romantic angle with her and Aaron Eckhart. But very food focused, very, very food focused. There's a lot of food, chefs, restaurant, all that kind of stuff. A fun, like, rom-com in that way. But No Reservations comes in at number 8 on our list. At number 7 on our list is one that I've mentioned on our channel before on movies you've never seen, top 10 movies you've never seen, one of those volumes. I'm talking about 1999's Simply Irresistible. Stars Sarah Michelle Gellar, Sean Patrick Flannery, and she is a chef, and like a pastry chef to start with, I believe, but she's a chef, and she falls in love with Sean Patrick Flannery's character, and he's not really reciprocating. He's like a high, well-to-do, aggressive, business guy and all this kind of stuff. But she has magic within her, and it's almost got a little Bewitched type flavor to it in that degree, because it's a lighthearted, comedy with, she's got witchy powers. Well, her powers start to make her emotions go into the food. So people start to feel what she's feeling. And she basically kind of doses Sean Patrick Flannery, for lack of a better term, in with her feelings through the food. And you can't get enough of it. And of course, it's a will they, won't they kind of rom-com. Very lighthearted. This is Sarah Michelle Gellar, like at the height of her powers, going into like season 3 or end of season 3 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV show. I Know What You Did Last Summer. She had just finished that. So fun movie, lots of food, lots of cooking, lots of desserts, all that kind of stuff, and the feels that food can give you. So Simply Irresistible comes in on our list at number 7. At number 6 is another one I don't have. It's a couple years older than that one. From 1997, I want to say. Soul Food. Now, this stars like Vivica A. Fox, Vanessa Williams, Nia Long. I think you got Mekhi Phifer in here. Lots of recognizable faces. And listen, I know about soul food. I'm from the South. I grew up, my great-grandparents still alive. They were younger. My family got started younger. And my grandmother and my mom cooking that old-school country down-home food. I mean, my great-grandparents had a farm. Like, it was fried chicken and fresh-made biscuits and bacon and sausage and hoop cheese and cheese off the rind, all that kind of stuff. collard greens, pintos. We shelled. We used to sit on the front porch on the weekend nights and shell pinto beans and butter beans and all that kind of stuff. Break up green beans that grew in the farm and just have 5-gallon buckets of them because they were going to get canned and jarred and everything for the winter and all that kind of stuff. So I know about soul food, cornbread every day. And in this movie, they use food to hold a family together. There's all kinds of, I mean, it's kind of soap opera-esque and maybe a little saccharine sweet in some ways. Different things that are happening in and out of the family, but they keep coming back together over food. The little boy, when things starts to get out of hand, he tries to plan with Big Mama to get them to come together and have a big Sunday dinner. They argue about some of them can't cook, and it's like an insult if you can't cook. And I remember talking about fish cakes and stuff like that. A lot of food going on, a lot of familiar food, comfort food. That's soul food, the love and stuff that food can bring together. Soul food has to be on the list. It comes in at number 6. Now, shifting gears real hard on to number 5 is how would you feel if you had your last meal and you didn't know it until you finished eating it? But I'm talking about 2022's The Menu. This stars is it Ralph Fiennes and Anna Taylor-Joy. You have other people you recognize in here too, but those two are the leads. And this movie is messed up. It is 100% like food based though, because these people go to this acclaimed chef to his sort of like private island restaurant where you have to have a invitation to get to, and he invites all these people, select people get these invites to this meal. And it's that very just beyond 5 Michelin star level. You start with an amuse-bouche and you're going through these meals or through these courses, and he's explaining everything and all that, and you just kind of know something's coming. And I don't want to spoil the twists, but needless to say, you better enjoy the menu. You better enjoy this meal because it just might be your last. Sick, twisted, and absolutely demented. But the menu is 100% food based, and food is the whole like driving force behind the film, and a chef and cooking and all of that. So has to be on our list. A twisted, like kind of horror thriller. The Menu comes in at number 5. At number 4 on our list is another one I don't have. This is 2010's Eat, Pray, Love. This stars Julia Roberts, and this is kind of like a biographical. I wasn't aware of this, that it was based on a true story until I started putting together the list. I haven't seen this in a while, but Julia Roberts is, she plays a woman who is unhappy with her life, and she goes through a painful divorce and decides to travel the world to find herself. She ends up going through like Italy and Rome, like all this stuff, and food becomes a big part of that. There's big scenes where we see her eating pizza. We see her eating in Italy. She puts together, at one point, she's planning to put together a Friendsgiving type situation in the movie. And, food is just like always there in this movie. And it kind of becomes synonymous with food-focused films. And Eat, Pray, Love, I don't have it. I think you can stream this one. I didn't check on all of them, but as I was doing this list, I was like, I'm gonna go watch this movie again. I don't have a lot of streaming services, but it did pop up as available. So, Eat, Pray, Love, Julia Roberts comes in at number 4 on our list. Now, at number 3 on our list is one I've also mentioned. It was part of my November Watch Challenge, and it is a classic Southern Fried, kind of Southern Gothic story based on a novel. I'm talking about Fried Green Tomatoes. Now, you have Mary Louise Parker, Mary Stuart Masterson, Kathy Bates, Jessica Tandy. This had Academy Award nominations and wins. I think Kathy Bates won for this movie. But this movie kind of uses food as to explore like the other themes and things in the movie. But they open the Whistle Stop Cafe. You get a lot of stuff. So Kathy Bates goes to an old folks home with her husband to meet to see his mother, and she strikes up a friendship with Jessica Tandy, and she begins to tell her about her whole life back in this small town in Georgia, and I think it might be supposed to be Alabama, but like the Whistle Stop Cafe and all that stuff that's in the movie is here in Georgia, so it's not that far for me. I've actually been to the Whistle Stop Cafe before, but you get the whole small town, the whole like kind of southern cooking soul food again. Fried green tomatoes, which I actually love, by the way. If you've never had fried green tomatoes, do yourself a favor. Fried green tomatoes are delicious. But there are these great scenes where there's like these old like fans going and the windows are open and these women are cooking in the kitchen of the Whistle Stop Cafe, and you see them making like chocolate icing from scratch and biscuits and cornbread and battering up tomatoes to make fried green tomatoes and all this kind of stuff. And of course they make barbecue here and that plays in a whole other way later in the movie. But I kind of associate this movie with old school Southern cooking and soul food type, just gritty goodness made from scratch, and it is a really good movie. A really, really good movie. Dude, you can watch this movie. It is a really good movie. A guy I know, an actor, Nick Searcy, he's been in tons of things. He plays a great bad guy in this movie. But Chris O'Donnell in here too. Fried green tomatoes, check it out. Comes in at number 3 on our list. At number 2 on our list is an animated movie, which I usually don't put on my list, but this is one of the most underrated animated movies that like Disney, Pixar have done. This is one of my absolute favorites. I am talking about Ratatouille. Love this movie. I got to upgrade a lot of my Disney stuff, but Disney and Pixar, this one came from Blockbuster Video, previously viewed. Literally, this is about anyone can cook. And Remy is a rat, and he is obsessed with better food than garbage and learning how to cook. And he watches Gusto, a famous chef, on TV, wherever he can watch him, and he watches or he finds one of his cookbooks that's anyone can cook. And he learns, he's different from other rats. He wants to learn how to cook, and this whole thing involves food. He becomes friends with this guy here, and they together, they basically do learn how to cook and manage the kitchen, and he calls him Little Chef. Y'all, listen, there's a ride for this at Epcot in the France Pavilion. I friggin' love this movie. I've seen this movie more times than you can count. But at the end, the way he wins things over by making the most simple dish that done well. Because as someone who likes to cook and eat myself, I think sometimes the best dish that you can make is the most simple flavors done perfectly well put together. And just the spirit of it, that cooking doesn't, anyone can cook, and food can bring people together, and you're not excluded from being able to cook and enjoy food no matter where you come from in the world or in life. Hell of a message, just a great feel-good movie. I'll put this on. Now, it does make me hungry every time I watch it. I want wine and cheese and bread and pastries and all that kind of stuff every time I watch this movie. Absolutely friggin' love it. I mean, any excuse to drink some wine. But I love this movie. Ratatouille, I had to put it on my list. It comes in here at number 2. Now, at number 1 on my list is one I don't have, and I don't know if it exists on physical media. It's about 10 years old, but I didn't see it until like 2 or 3 years ago, and I sing its praises to anyone who will listen. I'm talking about the Jon Favreau written, directed, starring film called Chef. And man, this is a good movie. Holy smokes, if you have not seen this movie, you have to see Chef. Jon Favreau plays a acclaimed chef who has kind of gotten in a rut at his, fancy pants LA restaurant, and kind of taken for granted that just he is the shit as a chef, and just kind of going through the motions, and he gets a crappy review, and he has it out with this reviewer, this critic, and it ends up costing him his job, and he doesn't know what to do anymore. He's kind of in a divorce situation with his wife. He's trying to spend more time with his kid, which is hard because chefs keep terrible hours. But he's in this this kind of situation, and he decides, he breaks everything down to the bare bones level. He decides he's going to restart himself with a food truck. Again, doing simple food real well. He's going to do Cuban sandwiches out of this food truck. And to spend time with his son, he is going to start in Miami with this food truck and teach him how to cook as they drive across the country, building momentum and building the word on these Cuban sandwiches, and learning about other food as he goes. Like, he goes to Texas, he gets brisket, like all these different things as he stops. He's building this relationship with his son as they travel back across to Los Angeles to meet up with his mom, who he's still in love with, played by Sofia Vergara, I believe. And Robert Downey Jr. does a little cameo for him in this movie, gets him started with his food truck. The care, like Jon Favreau, he will talk, he really wants to be a chef. Like, he is really good in the care that they show with filming, like how the food is prepared and cut and all that kind of stuff, that just, whether it's something like he teaches his son a lesson, doesn't matter if it's something as simple as a grilled cheese or a Cuban sandwich or a 7-course 5-star Michelin meal or whatever. It doesn't matter. The care and love that you put in the food is what shows. That's what comes through and brings people back, brings people together. The power of food for us to get together over meals and come together. It's all there. Movies have that same power. And when you combine the food and the movies together to bring people together, lots of power there. Love Chef. And it comes in at number 1 on our list. Now, I do have a few honorable mentions. I just didn't want the list to go on forever, was we could talk about a lot. There's some that I haven't seen that I want to see. Julia and Julia. Have not seen that one. Definitely food. Julia Childs, synonymous, like cookbooks and everything else. Mystic Pizza, another, the one that kind of like launched Julia Roberts. They're working in a pizza place. Lots of pizza. Pizza's my favorite food. So you got to mention that. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. A classic. All about candy, chocolate, food. You're seeing all this candy being made. Looks delicious. All that kind of stuff. And then something silly like Harold and Kumar could be on the list. I mean, the whole damn thing is they're trying to find a White Castle. They're trying to go and eat burgers. Now, down here in the South, we called White Castle Crystal. It was the exact same thing. But love those little burgers. And so, you could have that on the list. And Burnt with Bradley Cooper. There's definitely others that could be on the list. These are the ones that I'm going to lean towards because I have a lot of them and I've watched these more than the others. Like, I have not seen Burnt all the way through. I haven't seen Julia and Julia. So I don't want to talk about movies that I just I don't know that much about. But they are food focused and they're out there. Lots of stuff for your food palate. I mean, there's Chocolat. Tampopo, I think that's the name of the movie. Bowel. There's lots of movies that you could put on the list. This is my top 10, and of course it starts out with a little drink with Sideways and Cocktail and ends up with Chef. doing sandwiches the right way and everything in between. Of course, you got to get your soul food and enjoy it all. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. We do all kinds of stuff here. 4K reviews, physical media news, lists, rankings, physical media talk, how-to videos, all that from a filmmaker and fans perspective. If that is your jam and you want to help support the channel, besides liking and subscribing, you can join at my Patreon below or right here on YouTube. Become a channel member, a member of the pop culture family, friends. You can be a pop culture icon, get your name in lights, access to my special videos, behind the scenes of my filmmaking, and so much more. And I really do appreciate it. It really helps support the channel. We are going to get some Christmas vibes going here soon. I got my decorations out. We got Christmas horror. We got my favorite Christmas movies, my 25-day of Christmas challenge. So much stuff coming up, and Thanksgiving just a little over a week away. Some of my favorite time of year right here is October through the end of the year, and I want to share it all with you. But until next time, be kind, rewind like always. This is Chase with AV Pop Culture, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye. Go eat something. Bye-bye. Bye now.